recording tonight. Hello everyone, welcome for tonight. So I'm very happy to tonight I invite my friend from South Africa, and then she's going to share about her amazing journey in LifeWave, and she's the director in LifeWave. Also, she's a special octopus. So let me show the screen to you first. Let me wait. Okay. Better you share your screen directly, so I no need to click in and out. So I share the. Can you share in your?
Okay.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. You share your screen. Yeah. So maybe the internet issue, you see that some like not smooth. Is it the internet? Is this okay for your side?
Yeah, it seems perfect.
Okay. So next page.
Where's it gone?
Okay.
1 second. I have no idea why that happened.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so very welcome to you to join to us, because we have a time system, and then now we need you to help us to do a very nice sharing, because Beth have a lot of experience about patching, how to help her family and herself, and especially her dad have a miracle healing using the LifeWave patches. So let us to use the video to show you why LifeWave product have that amazing. So can you play for us, Beth? The
Absolutely.
video, next page. Yes.
Coming up.
Yeah.
Light, an ancient form of energy that goes back to the dawn of time. For us, it all begins with the sun, the source of light and life for our entire solar system. Even Einstein concluded that everything we're made of contains light. All life originates with the sun through photosynthesis. Plants and vegetation collect the light, and all living creatures emit light. Humans actually emit infrared light, which can be seen with night vision devices. We've known for centuries that light has many effects on the body. LifeWave's phototherapy patches use light to stimulate the body's natural healing systems, providing specific health benefits. Here's how the technology works. First, a patch is applied to specific points on the body. Where the patch covers the skin, infrared light emitted from the body is reflected back into the tissue. This stimulates the skin, which in turn stimulates specific regions of the brain. The brain then taps into the body's own natural flow of energy and the ability to heal itself. Let's take a look at why this is important on a cellular level. For example, a number of our patch products help counteract free radicals, oxygen molecules that damage cell proteins and contribute to visible signs of aging. When the body is stimulated through phototherapy to release its own antioxidants, these free radicals are neutralized naturally. LifeWave phototherapy patches promote an environment that enables the body to optimize its restorative powers and provide specific health benefits, all without the use of harmful drugs or chemicals, all helping you to stay healthy and young. To find out more, contact your distributor or visit lifewave.com. LifeWave. Live long, live well.
So a lot of people, you understand that, oh, LifeWave product actually can help to heal a body and then to improve your health, to life better, life healthier, but how it can work. So we have a lot of miracle and a lot of testimonial. Today, I'm going to introduce us the Beth Mina from South Africa, and then to let us to share with us about her LifeWave journey. So I pass the time to you, Beth.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Susanna. And it's so good to see you and Joe. Really, it was so special to be with you and to meet you and to see you now. It's just great. And I have, of course, regards from Gov. So good evening, everybody. I really consider myself privileged to be with you. I'm going to take you back to where I was in 2013, because that's just before my journey started with unwellness. And I think what I'd appreciate that you can see is that I was strong, fit, about to run my first 5K race, 5-kilometer race. I was running a very busy optometry practice. I worked in the rural areas. I was in, out, about, doing things all the time, social, organizing events, and living, well, what I thought was a great life. I'd started my international speaking journey, and I'd done a whirlwind tour in the UK, and it was phenomenal, and everything was just on point. I thought, you know, this is it. This is fantastic. And then within a very short time, that was all taken away. This is an outreach project that I am a director of in the rural areas in Southern Africa to help underprivileged learners to see. So very taxing physically. We drive out very far. We work with tons of kids in funny little cramped areas, you can see, with funny body postures, and you have to be quite healthy to be able to manage that. In the beginning of January 2014, I made the mistake of touching a patient without a glove on. And after COVID, no one would even think of that. But at the time, that wasn't quite the case. So I touched him and I contracted adenoviral follicular conjunctivitis. And it's at the first level, it attacks the eye. It's quite a rare condition. I don't know if you've all heard of Ebola. I think we all have at some level, but it's just as contractual as Ebola. So you can get Ebola just as quickly. It's that dangerous. And unfortunately, I touched him for less than a second. And I contracted this virus, and I sent a picture to an ophthalmologist that I work closely with, an eye specialist doctor. And I said to him, what do you make of this lesion? And he said to me, don't go near that patient, Bev. Just send them straight to me. And I said to him, that is me. And he said, don't come to my practice. I'll come to your practice. I don't want you to bring that to my practice. So I started off being booked off for a week, and it deteriorated very quickly because at the stage 1 level, it affects the eye. At stage 2 level, it causes scarring in the eye. And at stage 3 level, it starts to attack everything in the body that can become inflamed. So anything that ends in English in an itis. So it would be encephalitis is an inflammation of the brain. I had that. Spinal neuritis, an inflammation of all the spinal nerves. I had that. Global fasciitis is an inflammation of all the fascia, which the muscles in the actual body are contained in underneath our skin. I had that too. It attacked my thyroid and near destroyed it. It attacked my endocrine system. And so my hormones weren't working properly afterwards at all. And the muscles in between my rib cage, it's called costochondritis, very painful to breathe, very painful to try to turn over in bed. It's, if any of you have ever broken a rib or cracked a rib, it's that kind of feeling, but over the whole lungs. And very quickly, because the whole body was so inflamed, I developed a huge amount of terrible pain and weakness and fatigue. And so I went from being that person to being in a wheelchair in less than 10 days and desperate to find a way to get better. But you have to quarantine fully for 6 weeks. So that meant that no one touched my plates without them being sprayed with chlorhexidine and very strong alcohol-based disinfectants. No one touched anything I touched. And I was in a relationship at the time, and gratefully with someone medical. So I was able to manage, but very, very badly. And so my journey started then, going from one doctor to another to try and find a way to get better. And every one of them over that first year, I saw 13 medical specialists, neurologists, specialist physicians, anesthetists, but they actually just deal with pain management. But I didn't want to go on pain medicines. I wanted to get better. And after 6 weeks of having the virus, it's a little bit like a hurricane. a hurricane blows through a city and it does a huge amount of damage in the area, and then the hurricane's gone, but you have to pick up the pieces from the hurricane damage and start to rebuild. And that's exactly what happened with me. But there was so much damage that 2 different physicians said to me, "Shame, wouldn't it have been easier if you died? Because you have so much to deal with and you're so young." I was 41 at the time. And I don't think it would have been easy if I died. I loved my life. I loved my son. I took care of my parents. I had 4 salaries to pay and a practice to run. And I wanted to live. I wanted to get better, but no one had a solution. So I started to talk to everyone, because a physician said to me, "Beverly, medicine can't help you. We don't know how to treat this or heal this. No one's ever got better from having neurological damage like you have. So I recommend that you try everything. I know you're medical, I know you're science-based, I know you're academic, so your mind is narrow, but open your mind and try everything, because I'm telling you, medicine can't help you." And gratefully, he did do that, because I started looking for help everywhere I could. So I tried so many treatments and I couldn't even put them into a talk. It would take hours and hours to go through all the different kinds of treatments. But some of the more radical ones were done to try and lift the pain, raise my energy, and restore my leg functioning, because I couldn't walk. On the left here, you can see that I was in a steam bath there that was raised to 53 degrees. And then they would pump in 6 grams of ozone. And that actually helped me to at least be able to take steps, but in critical agony. And then it never did anything after that. And I would do this twice a day for 2 weeks. My partner would take me there and I would sit in this chair and it would be boiling hot. And then when we realized after about 6 weeks that nothing further was coming from it, I just left it. And so that wasn't a solution. On the right, you can see me lying with cords and everything and electronics attached. There was a pain specialist, physiotherapist near my area where I had my practice, who was renowned for being the pain specialist in the country. So I went to her, and I went to her for 8 weeks of treatment. And it all cost a fortune. And it didn't help my pain one bit, but she treated me like a pincushion. I had a probe into my mouth at every session. There's a needle in the center of my forehead, acupuncture needle. I was covered in acupuncture needles every time I was there. And then she'd use light radiation therapy. So I think she was onto something, but not quite. And running interferential current across my legs, and it made it vibrate. I'm not going to play the video on this, but it would make it vibrate. And the hope was that my legs would start working properly. But after 8 weeks of treatment and an absolute fortune, thousands of dollars invested to try and this treatment, my pain did not change even measurably by 1%, which was very disappointing. Then I started with the pain medicines after 1 full year, because I couldn't bear the pain anymore. But the pain medicines are very aggressive, and this was morphine-based plasters. So patches that you would put on you, they look like a normal plaster you'd put over a cut wound, and you wear it for a week. But it turned out I was allergic to them. So no matter where we would put them, I had the most terrible welts afterwards, which would take a few weeks to heal. And it helped with the pain, but it was addictive. And so now I was an addict, which is something I really wanted to avoid. To come off this, they wanted to put me into a home, a rehabilitation center. And I said, I can't do that. I have a practice to run. Even though I could barely work, I still had so many people to provide for financially. I couldn't stop working. So I couldn't take 3 weeks off to go and get better from this. So I did it while I was at work. I went what we call in English cold turkey, and I just stopped using them and dealt with the symptoms, which were horrific. this was now from January 2015 through to May 2015 is when I used the morphine. And there were 2 other very strong opiates I was on as well, and a neurological suppressor. So my pain came down from about 14 out of 10, which is excruciating and intolerable, to about 6 or 7 out of 10 with breakthrough pain. And breakthrough pain just means it goes back to 14 out of 10 if you exert yourself, and then you can't do anything until that settles. Right. When I found my integrative functional medical specialist that I got referred to by a patient, this was what I arrived to find, my partner and I. This was the steps. And I thought, if you're going to treat people who have a lot of pain and weakness, should you really have the stairway to heaven at the front of your practice? But now when I walk it, I just laugh. I love it. I love it. I love that I've got past this. Everything we did with him was based on bloods. And so I felt very secure in all of it, that we were assessing my bloods every time I saw him and changing the medicines. This was just 2 of the prescriptions. This was actually June 2020, but I started seeing him in February 2015. And we started this journey to try and get me out of a wheelchair. And it took about 3 years to get me to a point where I could walk without a wheelchair, but not for long, not more than 100 meters, as you'll see later. But what we managed was the pain and the energy. And these are 2 very different scripts. So one is for neurological suppressors on the right, pain management, anti-inflammatories, all of that kind of thing. And then there was stuff to settle my gastrointestinal tract started burning from all the strong opiates. So I had to go on things to manage that as well. And on the middle, that script is all about stabilizing the hormonal body. I was on, for very much of the time, progesterone, testosterone, and estrogen, because that hormonal body was destroyed. And I was on very powerful doses initially of tetroxin, euthyrox, and T3 and T4 for the thyroid, because you need both of them to function for your thyroid stimulating hormone to work properly. And my thyroid was near destroyed. So this was my regime. And you can imagine, I left out the pictures of how much work it would take to get these into containers for just 2 weeks at a time, so that I didn't have to take them out of each container each morning. If you look in the middle picture, and this was my best, most stable. This is from December 2019. In the morning, I took, I think it was at my worst, 24 different capsules and pills. And if you look from the left to the right, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, that's pure pain, opiates, anti-inflammatories. The next one, the pink one's a neurological suppressor. Then we have the thyroid meds. Then my blood pressure went up because of the hormonal body being so damaged, and the pain. So I had to go on blood pressure medication. The next one is to settle the gut. Then it was probiotics because my gut was near destroyed. And then it starts with the energy meds. All the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All the next 7 are energy meds and vitamin E, and then magnesium, and then glyconutrients, and something else to try and stabilize the gut. If you look at those powders, there's 5 powders in the corner there. And I would take all of this every single day just to function, just to be able to have a day where I could work with between 6 and 7 out of 10 pain and try and manage my energy. And I have a mattress at work and stabilizing mats on the floor, which reduce the pressure of the floor on your feet so that I could stand for a little bit longer. Because as a practitioner, I need to stand sometimes, so I can't only sit. So I put all of that in place just to be able to function. And this was at my most stable. This is what I was on. Just December 2019. It's hard to believe. So he used to try everything. He put me on drips twice a month at about $180 each drip. And I would go there and he would pump all these supplements and vitamins and everything into me, trying to raise my mitochondrial energy, trying to raise my NAD in the body. trying to get my body to function again. But after 6 months of doing, or was it longer? It was 10 months of doing these drips. It was quite clear they were doing nothing. For an hour after each drip, I'd feel really, really good. And it was meant to change from an hour to 3 hours to 5 hours to eventually you're fine with them. It never got past an hour. And it was just too expensive to justify. So I started gaining weight. I couldn't exercise, obviously, and I couldn't use my legs properly. So I couldn't drive my manual car, my gear shift car. So I had to buy a car, and this is me collecting it, which a Tiptronic automatic, because you can drive it with your hands. And you have to brake properly with your legs. So I always stayed out of traffic. So I barely had to brake. I drove very slowly and I managed to drive with my hands so I wouldn't have any sudden stops required. And I would have to sleep at the end of my workday before I would drive home. It's a 20-minute drive, so it's not too long, but I would sleep at the end of my workday on my mattress at work, and then sometimes for 2 hours, and then get up in the evening and drive home and then get straight back onto my bed, and someone would bring me food. And then the next morning I would start it all again. And that's how I existed, because I got this car in November 2014. So that's how I existed from 2014 until 2020, as you'll soon see. Anywhere I went, I was in a wheelchair. Anywhere. I couldn't walk more than 100 meters without triggering a neurological flare-up, which would cause exceptional pain and put me in bed in hospital, and then taken home after being treated for pain with growing pain meds. So whenever I did anything, this, impacted the people in my life so much, because I became the person who you had to make a plan to take with. It wasn't always just, well, let's go here. There was no let's just go here anymore. And we were very active. The person on the left is my son. He was 14 at the time this was taken. And this is when he lost his mother for a while, because I look like I'm happy and smiling, but there was very little activity. I was going to do another speaking tour, and that was a big mistake. And so I stopped them after that. That was November 2015. They asked me to come do another one. And it was too much. It took me 3.5 weeks to recover, and I can't do that. And I had exceptional fallout from the pain. So everything I did was to manage my energy and reduce my pain. Everything I did. So I barely did anything, because anything I did do created terrible overflows of neurological flares, which caused the 14 out of 10 pain, and fatigue that feels like you've run a marathon with someone else on your back, and going to the bathroom just feels like it's too much. So that's what I did. My life became very small, became showing up in my practice to earn money to take care of people and try and have the money I needed to try different treatments, and getting back into bed as soon as I could, so I could be okay to do it again the next day for a few hours. And I was also on partial disability from my insurance, because I couldn't obviously work properly. When I had a neurological flare, the condition that they name it is called PENE in English. It's post-exertional neuroencephalopathy. And it basically means if you have any effort expenditure, you risk flaring the whole neurological system. And when you do that, you have to deal with the fallout. And the fallout is exhaustion, but immeasurable exhaustion and terrible pain. So I landed up in hospital again and again. My friends would take me to hospital because I couldn't get there myself. And it would be hours and hours and hours of pain treatments, right up to morphine. And eventually they had to put me on Solumedrol drips for 16 hours just to break the pain cycle. And then it would take a whole day to recover. And then I needed to get back to work. So in the end, my insurance said, we're not paying anymore for you to keep going back to the hospital. And my integrative functional medicine doctor and I figured out we could do a migraine cocktail, which is what that script says, literally, migraine cocktail. And I would take these, in the end, there were 7 drugs that worked the best, but there it shows 6. I would take them at once when the flare started, and then get into bed because I couldn't walk within 20 minutes to half an hour of taking all of that. And it would take 16 to 24 hours for me to recover enough to be able to function again and try to go back to work. And I had one of those a week. So I had 4 a month, and that was the best we ever got to by 2018. And it never got better. That was my world. It just didn't improve from there, no matter what we tried. We tried cannabis oil, we tried cannabis itself. He just kept saying, let's try this, let's try this. And eventually said, I don't have anything else to try. I don't know what else to do. Things were stable, but certainly not high functioning at all. Because I was on such high doses of cortisone for 2 years, it damaged my pancreas, which started to change my blood sugar usage, and I became pre-diabetic. And it pushed my blood pressure up. And so I started to have the blood pressure problem, and it was exacerbated by the fact that I was on such, living with such high pain. I gained a fortune of weight. I barely recognized myself and dragged myself through every day. And eventually, because of all these changes, he had to take me off the cortisone. And so the pain became worse, but my blood sugar management came right because I heard what he said, and I fought and I lost all the weight. It was very hard, and it took 1.5 years, and I couldn't exercise at all or even walk upstairs. So it was just pure calorie deficiency, very strictly controlled with a nutritional physiologist, and I lost all of it. And so some of those benefits, came to me, but not wellness. So that just confirms it. That's where I got to, as stable as I could. I mean, that was good. I mean, not by anyone else's standards, but for me, it was really good where we got to. And January 2020, I went to see a craniosacral therapist, and she said to me, I'd known her for a very long time. We were very close. And she said to me, I don't think you came to me for craniosacral therapy. I think it's because I meant to tell you about these patches that are being imported into South Africa by somebody we both knew very well. I had known him since he was 17, and he's an academic scientist, a physiotherapist, and he researches everything. And I just, I trusted him implicitly because he had actually helped. My son was sick when he was a teenager and he needed glyconutrients, but we didn't know that, and neither did any of the doctors, and he put him on them and he came right. And so I knew whatever he was going to bring to me, that he had researched it, he knew the background. If he thought it could work because he knew what was going on with me, then it could probably work. So I phoned him and I said to him, I believe you have some patches here or something. And I've tried patches before, so I'm a little bit skeptical. And he said, what patches did you try? I said, I was on buprenorphine patches with morphine in them, and I got very ill from them. He said, well, then you're going to be happier because these have no medicine in them. So I said, well, how's a patch with no medicine going to help me get better? So he said, because your body knows what to do. And it's about the only thing that can get you right is your own body. And all these patches will do is remind your body of what to do. I said to him, well, how? And he explained to me a little bit. And I said to him, you know what? Do you think this can work? He said, Bev, I don't think anything else can work but your own stem cells and your own body bringing down its inflammation. Nothing else is even believed to help with neurological damage. And your body is so messed up hormonally, it's so inflamed. The only thing that could possibly get you right is your own body if it's working properly. And these will help it get to a place where it works properly again. If they work for you, this is exactly what you need. So I said, well, I trust you, so tell me what to do. I'm not researching it. He said, I'll send you science. I said, I don't have the energy or the brain power. At that time, I didn't. I said, just send me. Tell me what to do. I said, is it in a network market? He said, yes. I said, fantastic. They always have great products and great research. I said, fantastic. How do I register? What do you want me to do? Put me on these patches. When my son first saw them, he said to me, and now we're trying patches. I said, yep, stickers. Let's try them. I said to him I would try them for 6 weeks, but the guy who was importing them said, if you don't try them for 6 months, rather leave it. If you're not willing to give your body a chance to do its work, then don't shortchange it, just leave it. And I said, no, that's okay. I'll do it for 6 months. I've just given everything 6 weeks and it either started to show promise or it didn't. He said, do it for 6 months. I said, fine, you got it. So I went on to them. I went on to the YH set, except for carnosine for some bizarre reason. He put me on glutathione and Eon, and he put me on X39. And the YH set and the X39 were the only 4 patches available in South Africa in January 2020. That was all there was here. So he essentially put me on everything we had in South Africa. And then I noticed on the first day that my energy felt a little bit better. My pain felt a little bit less. I might even have slept at night because I was on very powerful sleeping meds because the pain got so unbearable. I'd wake up crying in the middle of the night from the pain and not even realizing I was crying. So I had to be really sedated. So therefore also getting up was hard. And I noticed that getting up was, a little bit easier. And I thought, I'm sure I'm imagining it. It's psychosomatic. It's in my head. There's stickers. Within 4 days, however, I thought, no, I don't know this energy. I haven't had energy like this for 7 years. Like, this is a bit more energy. I mean, maybe for you, it would be exhaustion. For me, it was 20% more energy than I'd had in 7 years. Because I used to get up and go shower and get dressed and do my hair and have to lie down for 45 minutes because that was so exhausting for me. Whereas most of us get up, get showered, get dressed, put on our face and our hair and walk out the door. I couldn't do that. Within a month, I noticed, wait, let me go back, because after a week, he said to me, I haven't put you on all the patches and you're complaining like that. You still feel very fogged in your head. And I said, yeah, I thought this would help with that. And he said it would, but I didn't put you on carnosine. Let me add that in. And I said, why didn't you? He said, I'm not sure. Let's just add it in. And I said, fine. So I was with the out carnosine for the first week. Within 5 minutes of the carnosine patch going on, I felt dizzy. I felt a bit lightheaded. And I said to him, is this normal? He said, very. He said, just breathe, drink your water. Let's get through it. Within 20 minutes, I had to go back to my practice. And I started feeling my brain switch on and concentrate and think of papers that I'd read on different aspects of my specialized field from years ago and advanced conferences I'd attended years ago. And I thought, is this possible from a patch? I mean, is this possible? Within 2 months, my brain was working so fast that I decided to enroll because we were now in lockdown. It was March 2020 and we were in lockdown and I wasn't allowed to work for 6 weeks. So I decided to enroll in an international diploma in executive coaching. And I completed that and another advanced course in my profession with the international conference, which I've completed. And I started studying Spanish just because my brain was bored. And I couldn't believe that I had my brain back again because I couldn't think of anything after work. Everything was about recuperating for the next day. I went from having 4 religious full body migraines every month for years and years to having 3 in February, 2 in March, 2 in April, 1 in May, and it's the last one I've ever had. I haven't known that pain at all. I have no breakthrough pain. It hasn't happened since May 2020. I couldn't run yet. I tried during lockdown. I thought maybe I can run. So I jogged on the treadmill for 2 minutes, triggered a full body neural migraine and had 2 days in bed. So I thought, okay, it's only been 4 months, 3 months, it's there. And the first time I could actually run came later, but my son noticed how things were changing and he was getting so curious, very skeptical, but so curious. He was like, do you think these things are really doing this? I said, well, it's not my mind. I have tried so hard to get better. So it's got to be these things. I still hadn't researched them. After 4 months of doing this trial, I phoned the guy and I said, I want to cancel the trial. And he said, why? You haven't given it enough time. I said, no, I want to stay on it. I'll stay on this for life, because if I only ever get as much improved energy as I have today and as much reduced pain as I have right now, and I was still having breakthrough migraines, as far as I knew, this is so immeasurably better than anything I've experienced up till now. I'm not taking these off. And when I saw my doctor, because I see him twice a year and have full bloods taken, I walked in there and he said, what have you been doing? You look amazing. Your bloods are incredible. Come talk to me. And I told him about them. He looked at the science and he's researched it, and him and his wife are both on it. He has an anti-aging center, and so he uses them. So it's a remarkable thing that has happened in my life. And after 9 months of being on them, I noticed that my hand was changing because it triggered a very aggressive arthritis. And I have this finger, the nodule is, you can see it, it's reducing. I mean, it keeps getting smaller and smaller, and I noticed that it was reducing, and I've been mapping that with pictures, and it's fascinating to me because I couldn't close my hands and open them, and I couldn't touch this finger, I couldn't touch it. And I mean, bless you, there's no pain, and I can close my hands, I can do whatever I like with them. I couldn't do push-ups, I couldn't do anything, but I can do all of that now. And it just kept getting better and better. And in January the next year, I started trying to jog, and I could jog without pain, and it didn't trigger anything. And I cried my eyes out, and I was very emotional, and I'd videoed myself doing it and sent it to family and friends that I'm close to around the world. And there was just such a reckoning of what's possible in the human body when it's correctly supported. So when the doctors told me, you will never run again, I decided I will run again. You don't know how, but I will run again. And so that absolutely became my mantra and my hashtag. And I was determined to get to a point where I will feel alive again and find the solution for this, because I just knew that because medical science didn't have a solution, it didn't mean there wasn't a solution. It just meant medical science didn't have it. And for somebody who comes from a medical background to say that, it might be a bit startling, but we have to open our minds if we really want to get to wellness, and the medical world strictly isn't providing it. So I started thriving in my practice. I started exercising and meditating and getting fit again. I started to embrace the changes. My whole face changed shape. I mean, I was very tired that night and I'd worked out already. So, this was me stable on the left. June 2018, that was me phenomenally stable and doing so well, and big, overweight, in pain, etc., stable. And there on the right, I'm exhausted, I'm many things, but totally different version of myself already in September 2020. And it just continued to improve. So this is a gyrotonic machine, and it's weightless. I have one in my garden. That's me on the right in March this year. And that was me in September 2020 trying it out. So that didn't last very long, because I tried it out in September. In August, and I had a full body neural flare. So I thought, oh well, too soon. And then in September, I tried it again, and that worked really well. And I had like such a good time with that. And it didn't work out that I could continue with that, but I went back to Pilates, which I hadn't been able to do for years. And it just kept improving. Everything kept improving. Should I show the video, Susanna?
Yes, you can show the video. Share. Yeah, you stop share. All right, so and then share
what the
video.
Screen looks like for a second. And I'll just give you a glimpse of what that looks like in the real world.
Beth, I help you
Should
to
I do
share?
it at the end rather?
I help you to share because I find that your web, is it not too stable, maybe your internet. That's why we have some gray box come out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it.
Let me try share my screen. Let's see, is it better? Wait a moment. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, the desktop, let me share my desktop. Okay, cannot do this. I can't do that because I'm
okay, so let's carry on.
You try to share. You try to share.
I must try to share.
You try to share because my screen is in full screen. I'm recording. That's why they not allow me to close and open. So you try to open and you try to open.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the presentation then. I think it's just safer, especially if everyone's seeing gray boxes and things. It's all right. It moves. I think you can get the idea. It moves in a circular pattern. Was designed by NASA to help them learn how to work in space, and it's remarkable. And I now have the privilege of having one, and it's just an incredible machine to work on because it tones the entire body so powerfully and so fast. I'm going to take us past this. There we go. So the dream came true of me being able to run again from April this year. It took a while. I was walking for quite a long time and I tried to run, and it wasn't that it triggered pain. It was that I couldn't get my legs to run. Neurologically, they weren't wired properly again so that they would let me run. And this is one of my dearest friends who I included there, who said to me, you will run again and I will run with you. And she does every opportunity. And it's just been such an incredible journey. Every time you beat your time at the park run, you ring a bell. So that was a video of me ringing a bell, because every time I've done it, I can't run the full 5 kilometers yet, but I keep improving. And every time I beat my time, you go ring the bell at the end. It's very cute. On the right, that's aerial yoga. Also, there's different versions, silks and that kind of thing. And I've been trying new things and stretching my body, but nothing triggers pain. So I don't land up getting into any kind of position where I've overdone it or there's a problem or anything like that. Nothing like that happens. And then we started to travel. In July 2021, we went to Zanzibar out of nowhere to escape the lockdown. And I didn't, my son said to me, did you book a wheelchair? And I said, no, I'm not booking it. I'm sure I can do without it. And we did. It was the first time in 8 years that I was able to go longer than 100 meters without thinking about it in an airport with no wheelchairs. And it was such a phenomenal experience. And then we went to New York and Barcelona, and that was stunning. And I don't know if you can even see the pictures. I hope you can. But on the right, you can see the picture of me walking in the square in Barcelona. It was really just like, I just can walk anywhere I like for as much as I like. There's just such a freedom in my body again, which is such a privilege. And I pimped up my Nike Air Force One shoes. And I don't know if you can see on the plate, it says #IWRA, I will run again. So pretty much the mantra. And of course, the privilege of meetings as Anna and Joe and APAC was one of the most incredible experiences. I can't encourage that enough. Whatever it takes, be there. What an amazing privilege. And I took my son with me, and we just had such a phenomenal time. Such an incredible company, and their integrity and ethic and their humility with the way they approach pursuing wellness and anti-aging and helping people is just so phenomenal. I only researched the products after being on them for 9 months and seeing even my autoimmune condition reverse. I only researched the products then because I thought I need to put patients on these, and then I have to understand the science and I have to understand the studies, and that's when I researched them. And I've helped so many of my patients with that. So that in a nutshell is where I'm up to. The healing does continue. I'm noticing new things all the time, and such an absolute privilege to be part of this organization now, and to be able to reach out to other people and help them, because there is so much more than medical science allows. And this has changed everything for me. Absolutely everything. I couldn't feel more grateful and more privileged. And thank you for the opportunity to share with all of you. I really value that so much. Thank you so much. Oh, so that was my version of my story, and I've made a mistake here. My bad. I'm not sure you're even seeing this, but I've used this with my family as well. So this was my father's brain in March the 8th, 2021. He had a massive subdural hematoma. You can see it over here. And the first one covered in patches that I sneaked into ICU and took off my own body and stuck on his, because I wasn't allowed to go in there with anything. In the middle of COVID, I only got into ICU because I'm medical, so they let me in. He walked afterwards, he talked, he had full memory, and the neurologist said, this is impossible, it's impossible. Nothing made sense to her. And then she saw the patches and she said, are you putting these little things on him? Is this what's causing him to have a recovery? She uses them on her patients now. And then he had another one, which unfortunately left him stroked and with a massive heart attack and paralyzed on the left side of his body and in a coma for 70 days. So I just kept putting on the patches, fighting the doctors. He was covered in patches perpetually, and they said he will never come through it. He's going to be brain damaged. His brain was showing very, very, very low scores on the EEG, and they said, you know, then he's not going to survive. Then he developed a bed sore because they didn't take care of him properly, and he got septicemia. And I said to the doctor, put him on a glutathione drip and leave the stickers on him. He's going to be fine. And he said, no, this is when he dies. And I said, well, God, you're not. So let's move forward. And he eventually woke up from his coma, and he came off the tracheotomy in his throat. He learned to speak again. He's learned to swallow again. He had a feeding tube. They said he'd never eat again. He eats. I was with him this morning. He fed himself and ate his toasted cheese and tomato. He loves it, and a coffee freezer. It's his happy place. And he's learning to walk again. And it is just the most remarkable thing to see that he is slowly regaining the left side of his body, and the physiotherapist who works with him is so blown away, he's using them on his patients now. So just by helping people and people recovering, we help others, and it's such a privilege. This is the pressure sore he got, which the physician said was going to kill him and he'll never survive it. Well, it took 8 months with X39 and the YH set, and it was gone completely. Healed. 2 surgeries, one to debride it, one septicemia that almost killed him, they said. Well, I don't think so. And there he is. He doesn't even have it today. My cat had renal failure. The dog on my left, he's just aging. He's an older Dachshund, but he just had a checkup, and the veterinary surgeon said to me, he is in such exceptional condition. What is in the sticker? So they're looking at the science now. And the cat, my catty boy, he almost died. He was allergic to the pollen that comes out of lilies, and the sweet child almost died. And I put on what you would put on for someone with renal impairment. You would want to help the energy in their body, so energy enhancer. You'd want the organ functioning and bioelectric properties to raise up as quickly as possible, so carnosine. And of course, the stem cells have to do repair, so X39. So that's X39 and carnosine on his head. And he had energy enhancer, you can see on his hips over there, over his adrenal glands and kidneys. And I was devastated after he was diagnosed, and he was just sitting with he was comforting me. But within 2 weeks, this very sick, weak child was running across the garden and playing, and he's such a magnificent boy. And every now and then I take them off and I let him have some time without them and see how he does. But he gets sick again, and then he'll literally come to me, and I call him and say, come for a patch, boy, and he'll come, and he'll just sit there and I'll put them on. And the first day I put them on, he tried to take it off, the energy enhancer that he could get to, try to take it off. And I said to him, I don't know if you understand me, but you need to leave these on. We're trying to save your life. And he's never touched them again. And he must feel something, because this cat is thriving. They gave me 4 months to a year with him. And we're now almost at the end of the 2nd year, and he'll live very, very long. Nothing wrong with him. And I think now I hand back to you, Susanna.
So very much thank you, Bert. I think a lot of people, they will have a question, and you will have an incredible share, because this is so amazing. Someone is too good to be trust, you know, and but if you keep patching,
I get that.
You trust the product, so the amazing will come a day. So, and also someone will challenge, especially a lot of specialists. They don't trust the sticker. They say it's no use because they're using the medicine, they're using the drugs. So somehow, you know, our customer, they will query, is this really this sticker can do? And even though the doctor, so even though I show them how to remove the pain in a minute, they still think that is a kiwi, just a moment. So you are actually, you're also in medicine field. How you share with your customer, you using a sticker can heal the body. I think you also get a lot of challenge.
Yeah, I do. I have a lot of challenges and a lot of people who don't want to use them. And I just say to them, if I gave this to you in a pill, would you swallow it? And they go, yeah, I could probably swallow a pill. I said, okay, so if I gave you a pill that would definitely turn on your stem cells, you'd swallow it. Then, yeah. I'm like, okay, what if your body knows how to make its own stem cells and it just needs a switch? What if that's it? What if your body knows how to make its own glutathione and it just needs a reminder? What if your body can raise the energy in itself, but it's forgotten to do it? And the patch reflects your own body energy back at you, and it says, oh, at this speed, turn on this, at that speed, turn on that. And I always relate it back to the UV light. I always say to patients, have you ever got a suntan or a sunburn? Yes. Okay, do you ever feel happier when you go in the sun? Yeah. Okay, well, that's because your serotonin goes up, and it doesn't go up in your skin. It goes up in your brain. So you can go sit outside with a hat on and your whole body covered except your hands, and you'll still feel happier. Why? Because the sun hits your hand and it travels in the skin to your brain, and the brain goes, oh, at this wavelength speed, I need to raise serotonin, raise D3 in men who expose this area of their body, their neck to the sun over 45. They naturally raise testosterone. I need to change the melanocytes and tan. You accept that? Yes. Okay, so why can't you accept that infrared light at different speeds does different things for the body? Well, because I've never thought of it. Of course, you've never thought of it because it's new technology. I'm educating you. It's not rocket science. I didn't believe it either. I just tried the stickers and they worked. So there's two ways to do it. You can try and master the science and make peace with it. I doubt you do that before you take antibiotics your doctor puts you on, but okay, go ahead. Or you can say, what do I actually have to lose? What do I have to lose? Some people say, well, I don't believe in it. I say to them, do you believe in paracetamol? Do you believe in chemotherapy? Do you believe in antibiotics? Do you have to believe in them to use them? They don't need your belief. They work just fine without your help. So, I mean, I might have a slightly more or less tolerant approach to it, but I'm very clear that these patches don't need your belief, and they don't need your wisdom, and they don't have any need for you to understand the science. They're going to work anyway. I was with my 92-year-old aunt, my mother's oldest sister, in Israel recently in July. And she has terrible rheumatoid arthritis. And I'm happy to share these videos with you so you can share with your groups, Susanna, because clearly I can't share a thing from here, and I'm so sorry if it's been disappointing for everyone. But she has terrible swollen rheumatoid arthritis, and she couldn't do this. And I said to her, can I try help you? And she said to me, I don't believe in those. And I gave her my same speech. Do you believe in chemotherapy? She said, what do you mean? I said, exactly. Stop your nonsense. Do you want the patch or not? She said, all right, put it on. And within a few minutes, she said, my hand's tingling. It was X39, by the way. So she said, my hand's tingling. I said, okay. Said, let's just see. Within a few hours, all the rheumatoid swelling was gone for her, and her hands were moving. And I have a video of her going, if this just does this for me, that would be enough. And I said to her, do you believe in them now? She said, yes. I said, still didn't need your belief. So the way I deal with it is really talking about how nature works in the world, and how this genius, David Schmidt, has been afforded the privilege of harnessing nature to help us. And just to remind our bodies, we know what to do. We know how to make glutathione. We know how to make pain go away. We know. We just don't do it without the switches being turned on. And the other way I explain to people is I say, when you come home at night, if you don't have an Apple house or a Google house, you have to flick a switch to turn your lights on, don't you? Yes. I'm like, okay. And what was there without the switch flicked? Darkness. Okay. So there was an absence of light without the switch flicked on. Agreed. Yes. And then you press the switch and now you have light. Yes. Okay. So it didn't mean the light wasn't there. It just means it wasn't triggered. Okay, fine. I said, okay. So the glutathione production is there. It's just not triggered. All the patch does is switch it on. It's just a light switch. Yes. That's all it is. And it's literally a light switch. So that's how I do it. I don't drown people in science. And I just say to them, if you want the science, we have it. We have presentations I've made pulling the science together. We have explanations. We have hundreds of hours of information on the LifeWave channel. Go crazy, but don't waste your life in the process. Wear the patches.
Yes, you know, someone will ask you, oh, do you have any proof? Do you have any information? I say, I have. I can share with you, but you need to spend half years to study them. Because
exactly.
Too many.
Do you want to get a PhD in LifeWave, or do you want to just put the patch on?
Yes, you want
see
to
for yourself.
That is so funny.
The PhD, and that's the one thing that there isn't in LifeWave. There's SPD, that's you, but there's no PhD. We leave the PhDs to the people who need them, and we just aim for SPD. That's more than good enough.
Yes, more than
when
good enough.
When I grow up, I want to be like you.
You definitely can do. You know, you open up the South Africa market. You're so amazing. On that time I met you, wow, you share with me a lot of your stories. Very touching, especially your dad. You're determined to, you fight with the doctor. I just remember you said to me, you fight with the doctor because the doctor of your dad said that he will go. And then you say you are not the one to decide. So God will arrange.
That's
so you patch your dad and then determined to do the just on LifeWave, and he wake up. And today you can take care of him, and then he can eat by himself and he can walk around. So amazing.
He can't walk around yet. He's very much he's not walking yet, but he's in physiotherapy, able to walk some steps. He's going to get there. I have no doubt.
But this is
no doubt. But in time, because the body takes time and we need patience. I'm still healing. I've just seen my doctor again. I've come off even more of my thyroid medication. And he said, you know, your thyroid is busy healing. And you're 50 years old. I said, I'm 50 years young. Thank you very much. He said, but at 50, people don't heal a thyroid. It doesn't get better. It gets worse. Every time I do bloods, I raise the medicine. Every time I do bloods for you, I lower the medicine. I can't believe you're still healing. I said to him, of course I'm still healing because I'm not back where I started. I'm better in many ways, but I want the healing to continue. I don't think I'm done yet. So many people do ask, how long do I have to use them for? I ask a simple question. How long do you want to experience your own wellness for? Go without them. See if you feel better.
That's true.
I say to everyone I put them on, use them for a minimum of 3 months. Minimum. Properly, the way they're
3 to 6
the way they're described. And then stop. and see what you notice and see which life you prefer. Decide for yourself. Be your own medical experiment. You're clever enough to know if you feel better or not. Do it properly, then stop. And within about 4 days, they will be back to where they are unhealed, because I can't get to day 4. Every now and then I have a little bit of a gap. Just now I'm a bit brave, and I take off this one, take off that one, play with this. And you know how my body feels the best? Everything on. That's how it feels the best. I wear the YH set. I have my X39 and X49 on, and X49 has been a game changer addition. We only had 4 in South Africa up until April this year. Actually, we now have 9. So we're only missing a few, and I was importing them from the United Kingdom. I imported Energy Enhancer, I imported SB6, I brought in Ice Wave. I was bringing things in because I wanted more of them, but we couldn't get them in South Africa. And that's how I had it available to save my cat, because I wouldn't have had the Energy Enhancer here otherwise. So now that the LifeWave Corporation has seen our potential and seen what we're doing in South Africa, that we really are working to grow the usage here, they've said, okay, we'll give you more. And they've given us, now we have 9, which is amazing, amazing. But if there's any other questions? Anything?
Yes, I think I allowed them to open up your mic, because I think maybe we continue. Someone maybe have some question want to ask Belle, so take the chance, because we have a 8 hours time distance, and then if you wanted to ask, so please open your mic or your hands up so I can call your name. I think Beth is almost need to go back to work. Okay, so let me see if any questions.
I have a patient coming shortly.
Yeah, so yes, they appreciate all of us. They appreciate, and then any more question want to ask Belle?
Susanna, there's a question there from James Long in the chat.
Okay. No, James is just appreciate, and then
how long do you want to experience wellness for?
This is for the customer. Yeah.
Yep, that's my line.
This is a very good share.
How long do you want to experience wellness for?
Yes. Okay, if we don't have any more questions, I will just let Beth go first, because she have a customers coming. Her patient is coming. Right? Thank you so much, Beth. Hope we can have a chance to share again your amazing story, because you have many testimonials around you.
Thank you. I look forward.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for your.
Thank you.
Well, try to fix
Beth.
up the transmission next time. God bless you.
Yes, thank
you.
Cheers. God bless.
Bev.
Okay, so let me share my screen to you, because I think today have some more people coming. So I want to share about the lightweight technology, and then to let you understand. So, okay, let me show my screen. Okay. Here I go. Yeah. Can you see my PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Yes, Susanna, yes.
It's okay? Yeah, okay. Let me share the screen. Okay, so lightweight technology actually is a wearable technology. We are using the patches put in our body. So our technology is called photobiomodulation. So it's also the basics for the phototherapy. So the patch, how to work, just patch in our body, and our body infrared light will reflect back to our tissue and stimulate our cell to work. And it can naturally enhance our body healing system. So we are using the patch, just putting in our acupuncture point, and then and the patches actually contain the nanoatom of the amino acids, oxygen, electricity, waters, and natural glucose. But this substance not going to your body. It's just for the reflect your infrared light to your body. So this is nanotechnology, and we have different patches. We have energy enhancer to increase the energy level, to promote the blood circulation, and it also can burn more fat and bring you more energy. And we also have the ice wave for the immediate sleeping relief, quick as 30 seconds, it works. And it's no addictive. So very safe, natural, and no drugs. And we have silent night to enhance the quality of sleep and increase length of sleep. We also have a SP6 complete to balance our hormone, reduce the craving, and also restore our cell physiological. So we also have a YH. The YH is very good for regeneration our cell, for support for the glutathione. It can support our immune system, promote release of the stored tonics and antioxidants, and also it can help to remove our heavy metals from the body. And we also have can reduce the stress using the ion patches, so decrease the inflammation level and decrease the pressure. And the most significant is ion already have an experimental report can repair our DNA. So this is very important, and it can help for some ADHD, autism, and also the dementia issue. Also, the carnosine, it can increasing our stamina, increase our recovery speed, and also improve the strength and flexibility of our muscle, improve our cognitive function and heart rate issue. So for the heart and brain issue, carnosine can help. And also the original tissue degeneration issue, carnosine also can help. So, and for the aloe vera patches, it can improve our skin from inside out. So aloe vera also, we have the day cream and night cream. It pure natural, contain 98.6% natural pure plant ingredients, and 1.4 is a vitamin C. So when you use the aloe vera for a week, the first week you will see the difference from your skin, more moisture, and then it did not contain any preservative. So even the sensitive skins can use, and especially the people, they have the skin issue like eczema, like the allergic. So you can directly put the cream on top of the problem skin. You let's see within just 1 week, miracle will happen on your skin. And also we have a Nirvana patches for mood enhancer. So Nirvana patch can enhance the mood and stable our emotion. So also this is a natural product without drugs, chemical or stimulant. And we have a Nirvana supplement, support our health endorphin production to enhance the mood. And all of our products have the patent. And we have our important product is called X39. X39 is one of the product can naturally activate our stem cell to increase our GHKCU level. It can increase our energy for better sleep, support our immune system, and remove some pain from our body, improve our cognitive function, also to support the natural wound healing. So when you have an operation or you get hurt of the skin, you just need to put X39 nearby your hurt location in a good skin, surrounding the good, using the good skin, cannot put in the hurt part, if like eczema. So you will see that the skin can step by step improve. Even though the scar, the very old scar, it can also will improve. And for the X49, it's another type of the stem cell, stronger the stem cell, and to make the stem cell more function, have more function. It can support a healthy cardiovascular system and cognitive function, improve our muscle more fast to recovery, and also can support our bone health. So all the lightweight products are designed, no drugs, no chemical, no stimulants. And also coming soon, we will have a shine and gym. This is a meat which using the structured water can directly go to our brain and heart. So we are hopefully it can launch to Australia and other country and Asia country will be on January 2023. And USA and Europe country will launch in November 2022. So this product we are hopefully launch as soon as possible. So Lightweight will coming to build lightweight lifestyle. So coming all the product, not only packaging, we will also company also will consider for the lifestyle product, which is the new technology, which is you never see that technology and that product in the market. So Lightweight have a mission to change the world in a natural way. So I hope that today, Babs Share will encourage you and your family to using the Lightweight with more powerful testimonial. And the next week, I'm going to invite our executive director, Lawrence, going to share with us next week. So he also will share his testimonial in Lightweight and his journey. So next week, I hope that don't miss it. Okay. So today we are sum up to here. So any question and anything you want to ask? So let me see the chat box first. Which patch are Lawrence asked which patch can reduce the stomach? So you can using X39 and aloe vera. Okay, any more question, everyone? Any more question? So today we learned a lot, right? We're so happy to have a Beth to share, and I also will arrange more global leader to share with us. So hopefully bring more information, bring more real testimonial to use, and then hope you can have a more confidence to share with your family, and we're going to change more people's life using Lightweight product. Okay, so for the what, let me see. The conceptual zone. Okay, so first you have to drink more water, and you can using the gluten ion and also carnosine. YH can help. And any. So is it you want to ask any question? Any? You can open your mic. Oh, I see any hands up. Okay. So if no more questions.
Okay.
Okay,
Susanna.
Annie. Okay.
Okay, I'm here.
Hello, Annie. Yes.
Hi. Okay, a friend of ours had congenital spinal cord problem that burst and was operated. But after the operation, he had numbness at the back. So what patches is recommended?
So I will recommend her to use the X39 and YH.
YH.
Yes.
So
YH actually is very powerful for everything, and then it can also help the immune system, support the immune system, and also to improve a lot of different. YH is really powerful with X39 together.
okay. Do you think the ice wave should be recommended as well for the pain?
If the pain, yes, ice wave. If the pain.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Thank you very much, Susanna.
You're welcome. So another asking you doing the chemotherapy, is it using the, of course you can use the patches, because doing the chemo actually your immune system will be in effect. So when you're using the patch, actually can call your immune system to stronger and then let them to heal by your body. Actually, our body, our cells, they are so smart. When we patch on, the patches actually send the message, just like sending the message and give you an order and command to your body and make your body to make the cell, and in order to have the specific function and specific benefits. So different patches, they have a different command to your body. So you simply think like this way, you will more easy to understand.
Susanna?
Yes?
My son had a blood clot on his right leg, and he had an operation, according to the doctor, to remove the clot. What patch do you recommend after this operation?
After operation, using X39 and EON is a must.
It is a must. And where do you put the patches?
Just nearby the operation, like if you have a scar here, right? Operation here. So you put next to the operation part, next area. It's okay. Don't cover the part with hurt. Just find the whole skin, and then you patch the skin just nearby.
So it's X39 and EON.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, for a person who just had a stent, in their heart, what usually do you recommend? What kind of patch do you recommend?
Pardon me, please. The what?
Stent. Do you know the stent that you put in the heart if there's a blockage in the artery?
Oh, okay. Carnosine. Yes, carnosine, and also the X49 with X39. It can help.
Okay, so you put that directly where you're, in the place where your heart is, or do you put it just? You
can put it in 5 locations. Follow the instruction.
Follow.
Yes, because our body, we have a lot of acupuncture point, but someone is sensitive in this part, someone is sensitive in another part. Okay, so you try 5 locations. Which part you feel more comfortable?
Okay, so for people who just had stent, it's X39, is it X49 as well? And
carnosine.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much, Susanna.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So Elsie, about the cancer patient suffering painful for the whole body. So actually you can put the ice wave and EON. So ice wave using the cotton white, and the EON put on your bed net or nearby the pain location is also okay. Okay. So the cancer, actually in the cancer, do you have my book, The Patching Protocol? So this is inside, there's a mystery of the patching. So we have the cancer. In the cancer, I will suggest X39, and also I will suggest the YH. So in order to help the cancer, so YH and X39. Mainly is X39, EON, and the glutathione. Glutathione for the detoxing. So for the cancer, actually your body accumulate a lot of detox and a lot of the waste. So we need to detox them out. And for the EON, it's because we have a high inflammation level. We also accumulate and then let the cancer more active. So we need to control our inflammation rate. And the X39 have a stem cell activate, so it can help to grow more good cell to control the cancer cell. So if you're so for the hip issue, you can try to patch the carnosine in your back, lower back, and also the X39. Yeah, the lymphoma. Yeah, here in the page 71 in the patching book, you can see here. Okay. Okay, thank you everyone. So now it's 9:23. So next week, remember, join the same Zoom link again, because we have our Singapore leader, our executive director, Lawrence going to share with us his lightweight journey and the amazing business plan. I learned from him also. So hope that next week we can get in to the Zoom and learn more from different leaders. So I will invite global leader to share with all of us, and then we can grow our business together. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Susanna.
Thank you so much. See you next week. See you. Bye bye.
Thank you, Susanna. See you.
God bless
Thank you so
all of
much.
you. God bless all of you.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you.